After completing Masters of Fine Art in Michaelis, Gabriel Clark-Brown lived, worked and exhibited in the Netherlands, UK, Ireland and several years before returning to Cape Town. On his return, Gabriel taught printmaking at Rhodes University and then established an art information company that has evolved into the SA Art Times. Now, as artists, we all know which magazine that is, and it's online, and it's a beautiful magazine. After his amazing history, we have the privilege of having Gabriel here tonight to open our SASA members exhibition. I'd like to hand over to Gabriel.
Thanks very much. It's a great honor for being invited, and SASA is incredible in terms of its history and provenance and the driving force of its members and committee. It's been going for well over 100 years.
Wow, that's nice.
Incredible. And I think also you guys were very involved in getting the National Gallery up and running. They took a very long time, and there was SASA pushing forward, and lo and behold, we have a National Gallery thanks to you guys as well. And yeah, it's always amazing to see, like Winston Churchill said, that the further back you look, the further forward you can see. But yeah, thanks very much. I wrote quite a few speeches. One for every mood, but now I see I can read the crowd, and it's completely different to all my 17 speeches I wrote. So I said that I did want to kind of recall a few things. I mean, when I knew kind of what I wanted to do when I was 18, and make art. And I was very fortunate to have amazing teachers at the time. There was a man called Henry Simmons, and he changed my life in terms of being 17 or 18. And I think in most of my career, the people that I meet that have been really amazing teachers who have actually kind of not taught me about color and lighting and perspective and all that, but it's about actually a way of seeing things. And I think that's what really art is about. It's the only thing that we have in terms of recording our humanity. Our mistakes, our crimes, our desires, and so looking around the exhibition, one sees that. One looks at one looks for the passions of the artist. One looks for the hope and the love and what they wish for in the art. And I think it'd be amazing when you look at the artwork to actually see the artists behind it, or their desires, or their wants, or their humanity. And I think it's them, it's the artwork, and it's yourself. And I think one really sees it rather than what value it is. I don't care much about value anymore in terms that being having run the archives and dealing with auction houses and prices. And some people are just obsessed by money.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like horse racing. Horse racing is a beautiful sport. It's incredible what passion from the queen and everybody looking at those horses. It's something amazing to watch a horse run like that and to see the strength of God's creatures. But unfortunately, it's being piggybacked by betting and money. And I think sometimes it's almost the same thing with art. I do run the straight from our advertisers, but art is a similar thing. Is that art is art. It is what it is. It's not about who's got the most amount of sales or how much money the people have sold their painting for. 10 years ago, this chap had an exhibition at the Gallery Joburg. He sold his work at the prints for over 20,000 rand. 3-4 years later, the prints failed to even get 2,000 rand on auction. So you get your primary and your secondary market. Then you get what John Maffengale had, a John Maffengale print from 1986 that actually had 180 rand written on the bottom. I left it there because actually I was selling it for 18,000 rand.
Wow.
It just is what it is. And I think sometimes one's seduced and almost drugged by the money and how much you can get for the price. And I guess it does make play a part when you are a professional artist. To cover, if it is your income, you are very susceptible about your value or your money. But I think that will come. The irony about all this is that the first part of your art career, you try and get your prices up. Go from like 100 rand to 10,000 rand. But then you have to keep that price adjusted to 10,000 rand. You dare not let that thing fall. And if that painting that you sold for 10,000 rand goes to an auction and you can't reach 1,000 rand, does that really mean that that painting doesn't devalue?
No.
You see, so I mean, I think it's a huge distraction, and I think person like Walter May and that, I think they have that provenance, even if they weren't the right people in the room at that auction, doesn't mean that that painting is a bad painting as well. So I think, I mean, just by the adjustment, I think it is really great that one can sell one's paintings and one can make a small income. But I think at the end of the day, I ran the gallery for 16 years. I was no more. I was no better off than being a cake shop, right? Because it's like, these are her. It was beautiful. It tagged me. And my job as a gallerist was really just to find new homes and new environments for my pets. And some of them I wanted to take home and keep. But the best part of a sale is you say, oh, you want that painting? Take it home, bring it back in a week, and just get used to it. And 9 times out of 10, that's it. Yeah.
Oh.
So I think at the end of the day, I know it's about money and that, but at the end of the day, it's something about really identifying that pet as your own and living with it. And you spend 7 years or 21 years, it gives you that enjoyment. And then just going back to the value of things, I mean, Linda Gavon started the Human Gallery. She was ferocious. If you look at the old art canvas covers, she was like this on the cover there. But she was hard as nails. But she actually said, I'll never forget, she said, art is a spiritual value. All my art that I have in my house, because I love it, because it generally has no name or friend, but it's been painted in such a dignified, beautiful, intense way. The only artwork I have of value is the French Magnet by William King.
Oh, lucky.
But I think at the end of the day, it's what Linda Gavon really said about art, is that we're here for such a short while. We're overwhelmed by this beautiful God-created world, and we really want to celebrate it. And I think in that way, we really want to surround ourselves with beautiful items as well. Sometimes you can't really afford it, so you take a cell phone picture of it. But really, I think we're here really as a celebration of artist vision and enjoyment and language. And I think tonight is a celebration of our humanity and our skill.
Yeah.
I would say my skin is short. I think John Lennon won the First Club of the Year award back in the day, and they were expecting a long speech from John Lennon. So he stands up and says, God bless you all. But I think tonight's really, as I said, it's a celebration of talent and of beauty and of God's amazing work right here, right now. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.